Okay, confirming we're live on Facebook. Just set up the gallery view. So with that, Anna, over to you and Emilia and Marta.
Hello, my name is Anna. I'm from the IGF 2021 team, the hosting country of Poland. I'm very happy to meet with you today for the flash session, and also we have with us our representatives from the Young IGF Poland, Marta and Emilia. From my side, I would like to just summarize and thank you for the participation in all the flash sessions we had during the IGF 2020, because for me it was like the mining of great ideas, questions, subject topics, policy issues, which we could use and incorporate in our meeting in a 1 year time. Hopefully, and I truly believe we can meet there in person in Katowice in December. Just to underline that we are really counting on your presence, on your support, on your ideas, and happy to listen what's on your minds, and how would you like us together with you guys design the YAF IGF summit in Poland next year. From my side, that's all. Just passing the floor computer to Marta and Emilia. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Anna, for the floor, and thank you everyone for being here. I'm here today from the steering committee of YAF IGF Poland, together with my colleague Marta Musikowska, who is also from the steering committee. And we would like to introduce to you to our action plan that we have already announced during the YAF summit, but for those of you who weren't there or just want to have it reminded, I will do a brief overview of it. I would just like to share my screen with the presentation. I hope I will be able to do that. Can you see it? Okay, perfect. So this is the first slide is the quick overview of our goals for the next year and the preparatory process to the IGF event. So first of all, the first goal is knowledge acquisition. We really want to analyze the topics and issues that have appeared this year or also during the last year, during the last year's IGF's Young YAF IGF Summit and during previous IGFs. Because even this year, there were many events that included a lot of young speakers, and they have many very good inputs and ideas and thoughts. And what we would like to do is to push it further, push this discussion further, because what we believe in is that we have to build on what we already have, just to make the further steps, not to stay in the same place all the time. The second thing that we really hope that we will be able to realize during the preparations to the next year IGF is putting knowledge into the practice, because it is a great thing to talk, but even greater to act. So that's why we really would like to make it our focal point to let the ideas of young people become real actions. How we as YAF can be even more involved in the decision-making process, or as well as advocating, doing some advocacy in different fields, or in being included as decision makers ourselves. And the third thing is brainstorming, is to stimulate this discussion we had this year, we had last year, just to have this discussion on the most important topics and to develop these postulates for the IAF IGF 2021. And what are our more practical plans, like plan of action itself? First of all, we want to have this networking day that would be before the IGF 2021 itself in Katowice. It would be the day that will be totally dedicated to young people and will give them, first of all, an opportunity to get to know each other, to do some networking, and also will be an opportunity to get some knowledge, some new skills. So that's why we intend to fit there some mentoring panels with experts who are engaged in the internet governance or technology industry, or also experts from other fields, for example, from other stakeholders groups. We want to allow young people to network also with these experts. So this would be the first day. Then during the IGF event, we would like to have this place like the IAF IGF coffee or small talk corner. That would be a space in the conference room that would be dedicated for young people to have some coffee, have some snack, and to talk with each other, to exchange thoughts, to exchange some recommendations for the sessions, to get some support if somebody needs it. And as the final result of the whole work we will put into the process, we see writing a report to which we would like to invite everybody to join us in writing. That would be the kind of a conclusion, the kind of the message we would like to spread with the world after the whole work we will have while preparing to the IGF 2021 and while attending it. So these are our ideas, but of course, we are very open to your suggestions. If you feel that you have an idea that you would like to realize during the preparatory process or during the IGF itself, just contact us because we eagerly will hear all your suggestions, all your ideas. So just don't hesitate to contact us. We will post the links to our social media in the chat. And that's all from me for now. If you have any questions, just ask them. Thank you.
So now I'd like to open the floor for everyone who would like to speak up and tell something, some impressions or to share any ideas, or if you have any questions, just feel free to ask them.
I think Noha has her hand raised.
Okay, so please.
Hi everyone. Thanks Emilia and Marta and Youth IGF Poland team for organizing next year's event. I'm not sure if you're aware about the CLX event, which takes place every year as a pre-event. It's a collaborative leadership exchange. It's organized by ISOC, and it's where youth attend rounds of discussions in different topics. So I guess it would be great to collaborate with ISOC and to put the CLX on your agenda as part of the Youth IGF Summit. Because it's delivered by youth to youth. And I wonder if by the end of the Youth IGF Summit, we can prepare like recommendations for the next host country or for the organizers of the next Youth IGF, or at least to create channels with them so we can like maintain the sustainability of the Youth IGF Summit each year. Thank you.
Thanks a lot. It's great. Actually, we are, as we said, we are looking forward to any cooperation, and if it's something like you mentioned, youth connecting with youth people, it's always great to cooperate. So, and for us, it's very important to tackle the problems that actually touches everyone. I mean, not only the most of society like that, but also those who like to not exclude anyone from the discussion. So for us, it would be great if you will show us which problems we have to look at. So that would be really helpful.
Yeah, I agree with Marta, and we are also aware of all the great work that you as ISOC has already done and are doing all the time. So we are really looking forward for this cooperation, and also answering you said about these messages, these postulates for the next year host. That's also how we partially see the report I said about before, just to be kind of the messages also for the next year hosts. So that's also how we would like to have it.
Sorry, can I come in? I do see that I think there are a couple of more colleagues that would like to speak. No, I think what Noha said is very important. I'm sure Anna will come in, but I wanted to say just one important thing on the feedback. I think that's extremely important. And we've just before you joined, we had an informal chat before the session started, is that it's extremely important for us that these processes of planning the youth engagement are, first of all, of collaborative nature, which means that it's strongly backed by the host country, which we were so fortunate to have in advance by the next year's host country for this year's engagement process. And I know that the host will have really ambitious plan for next year. One thing. Another thing, that it's backed by the participating stakeholders in the IGF. That's the only way you can achieve a comprehensive engagement across the sectors and across the countries. That it's also backed by the young people and directed. So that bottom-up nature of young people telling the organizers or the hosts what needs to be done from the perspective of their needs and requirements is actually the best way to create meaningful engagement. I think this year, since we're speaking about feedback, I was just telling to colleagues before, from my very personal experience looking and being involved a little bit more in depth with all of you in planning the youth activities this year, is that we've created a number of channels. I think the response from young people from certain areas could be better. And with saying that, I'm very careful to say that because I think there's quite a strong reasoning. One reasoning is that young people are involved in maybe other processes, and another one is that we have very low awareness level in some areas. So we need to reach out to those that are not traditionally present in our discourse. And when you see some of the names, I'm seeing them in the ecosystem. I'm seeing them active in the youth IGFs, in the national regional IGFs. I'm seeing them active around the capacity development processes, number of them that exist around the IGF, but I'm still missing new names. And I'm hoping that we will really reach out with the help of all of you next year, those that are not even probably aware of the IGF processes, or maybe are aware, but these processes seem to be very far away to them. So that's something that we are also looking forward to work on. And the taking stock process, as you know, of the IGF always comes at the very end process of the one IGF cycle. I think we need to do quite a strong outreach there to have young people responding to that feedback process, in addition to sharing the perspectives on the youth engagement. So that's probably going to happen sometime in December. And just we ask for your help to reach out to your colleagues and peers in your countries and regions through your networks, through your universities, and different other channels, so that we can increase the participation of those colleagues. So just wanted to say that. Thank you.
If I may only add in a couple of words, I very much strongly support what Anya just said. And from our perspective as the host country and organizer for the IGF 2021 YAF meeting, this year, personally, I have found very interesting the flash session idea. So that we had this very short meeting with very interesting people on interesting subject topics. And for me, it would be very much added value to know your opinion. Would you like, as I understand, this kind of engagement was for the first time introduced to this online IGF? Would you like something like this organized also next year? This, of course, as one of the formats and ideas for the meetings. If you could also give us the feedback on this kind of engagement, that would be really great. Also, thank you very much.
If I can speak right now, I just read on the chat that Veronica mentioned that it might be useful to promote YAF experts as panelists in senior led panels. I think it's a great idea because as we were talking about it in an informal chat before we started talking right now, this is a multi-stakeholder meeting. So it's really nice to YAF people be considered as experts as well as those senior people. So I really like this idea. And the second thing, I also really loved the idea of flash talks. And as Noha said, of course, they are very short, but actually, in my opinion, it's great because 30 minutes, it's like the time that you can briefly summarize one topic and talk about it, like giving someone the proper knowledge. And on the other hand, it's a good time to focus and to not distract, because sometimes, even I talk about it personally, that if a meeting lasts like 1 hour or more, it's really hard to catch up on everything. So yeah, and the one thing I find something on which we have to work on, I mean, next year, it's not cooperation, but something that networking part, because it's very hard. That's what I found out in this online meetings. It's very hard to, after a meeting, like to network with people. And I think that it's maybe because it's the first online IGF, but I think it will be better and better. So
I think for these flash sessions, maybe just seeing what's on the chat, that would be maybe a good idea that we have a senior expert and a young expert also in the flash session together, and then they can speak on one subject from really like 2 different perspectives. But this is just, we have a brainstorming today. So.
Yeah, if I could just add something, I see that Leonard would like to take the floor, so I would just.
I wanted to say that as well.
One small thing, and I will finish about these flash talks. What I think it is great to have this speaker, but there's a lack of time for questions. So how I would like to see that is, for example, 1 hour for speaker, and then half an hour for questions for discussion. So maybe to make it 1 hour flash talk, but divided into these 2 parts. But this is just a brief idea.
Or 45 like school. It would be also nice.
To be discussed.
Maybe that's the perfect transition for me to jump in, if I may. Actually, I wanted to raise 3 points, and 2 of them have been covered already just now. First is that I also really strongly encourage everybody to maintain the Flash Talk format, because I think that was quite fruitful. Then the second one is what Veronica also suggested in the chat, right? That I think it's not only important like to produce a safe environment for youth to discuss in a more like private fashion with decision makers, but also to get like exposure to the overall IGF community. And I think the probably easiest way to do so is participating in the high level formats that take place, right? So I was, for instance, very happy to see that today in the closing session, Valerie will also participate. So that's like a good example on how we should carry on next year, in my opinion. And then the third point is more related to like the preparation and also the aspect of coming up with youth messages or postulates in the end. I think speaking from the experience from last year in 2019, it was quite stressful to produce an entire set of messages on one single day, right? And I think what the Youth for Digital Sustainability movement this year did was actually a good idea to like produce messages in advance in small working groups and then just presenting them at the final IGF. So maybe we could like try to come up with a similar approach there, agreeing on topics before the IGF with enough time to like work on them in a more thorough way, and then presenting them at the IGF and at the youth summit, of course. And then building off of that, one thing to consider is maybe to align who is attending which sessions, like to coordinate which part of youth is maybe promoting which message, because often they have a great content and were developed with great depth, but then once published, they kind of go by unnoticed. And I think like pushing the messages into the right sessions at the IGF is key. So maybe like spending a dedicated amount of time on coordinating which part of the youth stakeholders will go to which session and to talk to which decision makers could actually pave the way to get more of these messages implemented and heard in the end. So yeah, these are just a few remarks of mine. So thanks.
So if I can jump in shortly and fastly, because I will forget what I want to say. Thank you for that comment. It's super interesting point. I think that it's also connected, like this, the last thing you mentioned is also connected with the previous one, because I believe that what's most important in today's world is to specialize in one particular part of something. So I believe that if, for example, we would divide our group of like widely said IGF community into some parts, like, okay, those people will cover sustainable development, for example, those will cover digital inclusion and stuff like that. We can make first a great message and the great results after the IGF and after the summit. And the second thing is that we will prepare ourselves to be great speakers later with also some seniors, like you mentioned, this senior-led panels and stuff. So I think that it's a great idea.
Okay, so I would like to also say that it was a lot of very good points, and I really agree with them. I saw that Anya wrote in the chat that it was done as well with the messages for the summit 2020. And yeah, that's true. And I think it is the very good practice that is worth continuing. And what I think that we can even try to have this preparatory process of these messages we can try to make it even longer. For example, to have it month or 2 months before the YAF summit or before the IGF. So during this day that we plan to have before the IGF, we will only have the conclusion. So we will only work out the last details on the messages that will be already prepared. So I think it's a very good idea, because as you said, it is difficult to come out with such kind of postulates during the one day, because there's a lot of things to analyze and it can be a very big process. So I guess that it's possible to make it longer, to make it even taking a month or two, or even longer. It's difficult to tell for right now because it needs some preparation before, but I guess that it's possible.
Are there any raised hands? I guess Elizabeth is right now.
I didn't want to just take over the floor. Thank you for giving me the opportunity to speak. I wanted to just briefly comment on what has been discussed now, both in terms of youth involvement in sessions and when it comes to the drafting. So what we have seen this year is something that I find very commendable, which is actually in all of the high-level tracks that I followed, there was at least one young person on the panel. So this has been a huge improvement. And I think this has been built on a lot of advocacy that has been done. And so I think if we are really going in the right direction and different stakeholders are now very attuned to, or maybe some of them have to be made aware, but the IGF processes and the Secretariat have done a great job in putting that out there and making that a priority. So I think if we continue in that direction for next year, this could be a good way to go. We then have to see if we do an on-site meeting again, how we get young people to be on-site as well in terms of, you know, visibility and actually being able to engage. But that's another thing that I don't want to touch on right now. What I wanted to say about the drafting of messages, this is actually, I mean, we kind of built or took the idea of the Eurodic messages, but what worked, or maybe we have to have a realistic understanding of what it means to draft those messages, because we can either do it the Eurodic way, which is, you know, have discussions and then have messages as an outcome of the discussion per se, or we do it in a way that needs more preparation, which is actually this incremental drafting that is very deliberative, and that takes a lot of time and at least several weeks beforehand to do, if it's really done in a bottom-up way, which means from the people who are involved. I am very happy to share, you know, all the things that I have acquired knowing over the last years, but this is really something that needs to be done with a lot of time. Even the summit messages last year were not, you know, drafted in one day, but built on a process of several months that came before. So maybe we have to be a bit realistic of what we can do and what we should do, and then also advocacy that comes with the messages needs to be enforced, because this is something that we now see helps a lot. People who have drafted a message, then knowing what stakeholders they need to address and what sessions they need to partake. This is also a big part that should not be missed.
I can see that, Leonard, do you have still your hand raised? Do you want to take the floor?
No, sorry, that was my mistake.
All right.
Okay, I see that we are running out of time, and I also see that on the chat, Isaac had a few points, so I don't know if you would like to take the floor.
Hi everyone. Yes, Anja, I was talking about the youth messages we have been drafting. So I was wondering about, how we can, encourage or, receive some kind of attention from the multi-stakeholder in order to to promote these messages, whether to support us financially, for instance, maybe to execute some local projects, or maybe to support us in doing some activities. I don't know what, but elaborating, I mean, message is not a problem, but how to execute is the issue.
I just wanted to, sorry, quickly, I think Isaka is raising a really good point. We wanted to follow up on that. I mean, just concretely to respond for the messages, as you know, the messages were made available from the Youth Summit, I mean, for commenting very shortly after the Youth Summit ended. And it's really thanks to the hard work of the involved youth IGFs as speakers that worked together with us on developing messages in advance. So we did prepare them in advance. As you know, the whole summit, the entire youth engagement process was focused on the topics that youth set as a priority through the public consultations. Then after the, so as of 6th of November, when we put the messages for commenting on the platform, we received a few, but very good comments, but a very few, not a lot of young people commented. I think that's due to the fact that the meeting was ongoing with many sessions, everyone were just so busy. So we have 2 weeks to finalize these messages. However, the first draft is finalized. We've left it until this morning, until the 16th of November, ended in all parts of the world. And then we are formatting them. I assume that by, if not tonight, Geneva time, then tomorrow morning, when we get feedback from the internal team, will be available on the IGF website, formatted. And then, as we agreed, they're going to be widely disseminated to the stakeholders. But Isaka, you are right. That's where I think we are reaching our limits, because we are dependent on third parties to really acknowledge them when they receive them and dedicate themselves to hopefully support more young people. I do think it's a really good thing that there's a lot of visibility, and especially for the next year, thanks to the host country, there will be a lot of visibility for young people. I think the flash sessions as well gave visibility to the youth IGF coordinators. That was really our strategic aim, so that people know that, for instance, in Chad, there's a good youth IGF process, and that Isaka is the name that stands behind that process along with his other colleagues. And I think hopefully we'll see I'm not gonna speak for the future, we'll see what the time will bring, but that was the aim. And I think we should continue in that spirit of giving more visibility and recognition to the great work that you're doing. So Isaka, yes, we are committed to disseminate them broadly, widely, really, to the stakeholders that are active with the IGF. Some are quite new, but as I said, a lot depends on the third parties. It's really out of our hands, meaning also yours. But I think our task is to make these processes visible to those that may have interest to substantively and financially support young people.
Yeah, I just wanted to say that I agree with you, Anya, and I also agree with you, Isaka, that it is a very important thing to do, to not only to create new messages, but also to make the ones that have been already created to become real actions. I just wanted to say one thing, that my first IGF was in 2017, and comparing it, the youth involvement in it, comparing it to the last year's IGF or to this year's IGF, it's getting better and better. Now, thanks to the youth summit in Berlin and thanks to this year's youth summit, there's really, and there's this involvement is increasing, and it is a very positive thing to observe. And I am very hopeful that the next year will be also the same for this involvement, that we will be able to make it even better, but it has already been getting better and better.
Yes, Nicolas here. Hello, everyone. Just I hear all your comments. I think there are very, very nice ideas there for next year. And I think these youth flash talks were very nice, or the meeting, a fantastic experience. On my side, I think we need to use more collaborative platforms, and maybe we could try to create something like next year meeting. We could organize locally meetings, maybe Zoom links, but locally for people on your own country, the youth on the country, and then we could split like merge all these sessions in a platform. Maybe I think in 2021 we will have more technologies as COVID is doing things. I think all the technology is evolving, and we will have like a mix of Zooms and things like that. So maybe that could be nice to reach more people and to reach all these vulnerable groups, right? So that is my comment. We need to use technology in order to increase participation. Thank you so much.
Yeah, that was a very good idea, and I think that's even if we will have the on-site format, hopefully having this simultaneously is also the thing that Isaka mentioned, that it is the way to more accessible for more people. And I see that we are 7 minutes past the time of the meeting. Am I right? So I guess we have to wrap it up, even it is so interesting that I don't really feel like it.
I hope that we will have the opportunity to later have a look on your questions and your comments in chat, because I was following them and they are great. So we hope that we will see them later, and of course we will send you some of our social media, and feel free to, as Emilia mentioned, to contact us whenever you want and whatever you want to cover.
And if I may only in that this meeting does not end the preparation for the Young IGF 2021. We are planning at least a couple of big webinars. We want to meet again with you and have the brainstorming and speak about our common meeting in Katowice. Thanks.
I also see the great idea from Maciej in the chat, that maybe it would be a good thing to arrange the next meeting dedicated to the YAF IGF 2021, that we can have this discussion going on further. So that's the really thing that we can think about. So I can just recommend you to follow our social media. We are on LinkedIn and on Facebook. It's YAF IGF Poland. We will post a link soon. Marta, can you do it now? Can you post it in the chat? Thank you. And yeah, maybe it would be a good opportunity to have another meeting on this topic, also to hear more of your ideas.
It will not be that fast because my internet today is very bad, so I will just try to do it as fast as possible.
So Emilia, Marta, I wanted also to thank you, I'm sure on behalf of other colleagues as well. A big thank you to Anna and Maciek and the entire team of the next year's host country. I'm sure that this was such a, I mean, I've just actually joined as a participant as well. So that's why I allow myself to engage in the discussions with you. But I think that if we're going to conclude, I'm really looking forward to the next year. And I think there's much more awareness, more proactivity, more energy, more ideas, plans, and more already established partnerships this year to build on for the next year. So all that I think will lead to a bigger success in terms of engaging young people. So with that, we do have a couple of final, just speaking now from the Secretariat side, we have a couple of final steps in December, but you will be informed through the IGF Youth mailing list. So please do stay tuned through that list, and we'll let you know. There will be a final coordination session for all the youth IGFs, national and regional IGFs. I think it's a good idea to raise also what Isaka said, the visibility and ways of support by the global community directed to the youth IGFs. So yes, thank you so much, everyone. It's really a good talk.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, and thank you very much, Anya, for organizing this year's YAF involvement and to coordinating it. It has been a great work, and we really hope to be able to push it a little bit further next year.
Thank you, Amelia. I'm sure you will. Thank you. Bye, everyone.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.
See you in Katowice.
See you.
See you. Bye.
See you. Bye.